Zeus was the most powerful deity of the Greek world, the king of gods, ruler of the skies, and father of both gods and men, and his story is wild. Zeus wasn't just the god of the sky and weather. He was known as the father of gods and men. Revered as the embodiment of justice and order, he was the divine force that shaped the lives of men, heroes, and even the immortal gods. But what made Zeus so powerful, and how did he come to rule over the cosmos? Zeus's journey to power was anything but easy. He was born to the Titans, Cronus and Rhea, the king and queen of the gods, and, oddly enough, siblings. Now Cronus was a paranoid guy. He found out through a prophecy that one of his kids would eventually dethrone him, so he decided to play it safe by swallowing each of them whole at birth. But Zeus's mom, Rhea, wasn't having it, so she came up with a cunning plan to help Zeus escape this grim fate. She tricked Cronus by wrapping a rock in baby blankets and handed that over instead of Zeus. And where did she hide baby Zeus? In a cave on Crete, where he was nursed by a nymph, sometimes depicted as a goat, and guarded by some warriors called the Curetes. These guys would clash their weapons to cover up baby Zeus's cries. Zeus grew up in secret, and when he came of age, unleashed chaos onto his dad. With the help of his grandmother Gaia, he forced Cronus to throw up his siblings, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, fully grown and ready to fight. Alongside his brothers Hades and Poseidon, this Greek god staged a full-on rebellion that would shake the very foundations of the universe. They threw down with Cronus and the Titans in the all-out 10-year cosmic battle of Titanomachy, ultimately defeating them. Once Cronus was out, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades divided up the world. Zeus got the sky, Poseidon took the seas, and Hades got the underworld. After their victory, Zeus banished the Titans to the depths of Tartarus, and the Olympians became the rulers of the cosmos with Zeus as their king. Zeus's reign wasn't without its challenges. After the defeat of the Titans, there was a new threat, the Gigantomachy, the battle with the giants, the kids of Gaia and Tartarus. The Earth itself, fuming about the imprisonment of her Titan kids, gave birth to these monstrous giants in a bid to overthrow Zeus and the Olympians. These giants, towering and powerful, could not be defeated by gods alone, so Zeus pulled in the big guns, his half-mortal son, Heracles. Together they fought the giants in a war that once again threatened to bring chaos to the universe. The battle was brutal, but with a strike of his thunderbolt and Heracles' mortal blow, Zeus ended the threat of the giants, securing his place as the unchallenged ruler of Olympus. From his throne on Mount Olympus, the highest peak in Greece, Zeus had a front-row seat to everything that happened below. No one could escape his gaze. If you did good, you'd get rewarded. But mess up? Zeus was swift to punish, and no one could hide from his thunderbolt. He was also close with his daughter Dike, who represented justice. So Zeus had his own divine legal system going. His power was unmatched, his authority unquestioned. Zeus wasn't just handing out justice, he was also a protector of cities, homes, strangers, and guests. Zeus had one of the most legendary love lives in Greek myth. Besides his queen Hera, Zeus had a lot of side flings with goddesses, nymphs, and mortals alike. We're talking over 100 different relationships. He even had a habit of transforming into animals to get what he wanted. He became a cuckoo bird to seduce Hera, a swan for Leda, and a bull for Europa. Yeah, Zeus wasn't exactly faithful to his wife Hera, which naturally sparked plenty of drama. Zeus's offspring list was wild: Apollo and Artemis with the Titan Leto, the goddess of motherhood, childbirth, and modesty; Athena with the goddess of wisdom, Métis; Persephone with Demeter, the ancient Greek goddess of the harvest; Hermes with Maia, the goddess of the fields; Dionysus with Semele, another Greek goddess; Heracles with Alcmene, a mortal princess; Helen and Polydeuces to Leda, the queen of Sparta and the wife of Tyndareus; and of course, the demigod Perseus with Danae, the only child of King Acrisius and an Argive princess, to name a few. And of course, his more official kids like Ares, Hephaestus, and Hebe with his wife Hera. These kids pretty much shaped the ancient world and continued Zeus's legacy. In ancient art, Zeus was always shown as this super-masculine, bearded figure with a thunderbolt in hand and an eagle by his side. He symbolized ultimate power. The problem? Despite his status as the head honcho, some of the local gods, like Athena and Hera, overshadowed him in specific regions. His universality kinda worked against him in that sense. Even his temple at Olympia was built after one for Hera. Speaking of his siblings, they also played major roles in Greek myth. Hestia, the virgin goddess of the hearth both in private homes and public spaces, was the first child of Cronus and Rhea. But because she was the first one swallowed, she was also the last to come out. She's technically both the eldest and youngest of her siblings. She's the reason ancient Greeks had warmth, cooked food, and a cozy place to gather. She's also the goddess of the sacrificial flame. Every time a sacrifice was made to the gods, Hestia got her share, since the communal feast that followed was right up her alley. Hestia made a vow to stay a virgin, which meant no kids for her, despite two of the top tops, Apollo and Poseidon, trying to get with her. From that moment on, Hestia claimed her place at the royal hearth on Mount Olympus, symbolizing unity and peace among the gods. Then there's Demeter, the second sister, and goddess of agriculture. After Cronus spit her out, she ended up having an affair with Zeus, which resulted in the birth of Persephone. Persephone, who got snatched up by Hades. Demeter was devastated, leading to some major neglect of her goddess duties. So Zeus had to step in and negotiate a deal. Persephone would spend 2/3 of the year with her mom and 1/3 with Hades. That's how we got the seasons. When Persephone is with Demeter, the world thrives. But when she's with Hades, it's all about that winter chill. Hera, Zeus's third sister and his wife, was the queen of Olympus, all about women, marriage, and family. But don't get it twisted. She's notorious for her jealousy, especially when Zeus is off having his many flings. Despite Zeus's shady behavior, Hera stayed loyal, but boy did she make those consorts pay. Hera went after Heracles in particular, trying to make his life a living nightmare. Remember the 12 labors of Heracles? Yeah, you can thank Hera for that. Then we have Hades, the eldest brother and ruler of the underworld. But he isn't just the ruler of the dead, he's also the god of wealth, having control over all the precious metals and jewels of the underworld. He's often seen as the villain, but really, he's just doing his job, keeping the balance of life and death in check. Last but not least, we have Poseidon, the moody god of the seas and storms. But he didn't just control the ocean, he ruled over anything water-related like rivers, floods, and even droughts. He's known for his temper and his famous trident. Poseidon had his fair share of drama, especially when he went head-to-head with Athena for Athens. He lost this battle, and he did not take it well. Just like Zeus, he had a reputation for multiple affairs, fathering some legendary kids like Triton and Pegasus. As for Zeus, beyond all the power and lightning bolts, this god remains one of the most fascinating figures in mythology, symbolizing the sky's vastness and the unpredictable forces of nature. The god who rose from nothing to rule everything. What do you think? Was Zeus a just ruler, or was his power too much for one god to handle?